So a founder recently told me that her e-commerce business wasn't doing so well. And then she told me that she's not running Facebook ads because they don't work. And I was like, girl, that is your first problem right there. To this day, meta ads are still one of the most effective ways of promoting an e-commerce business. But if you are a complete beginner and you don't really know what you're doing, then this video is going to be for you, because I'm going to give you everything that you need to know in this complete guide about how to run Facebook ads, including the most recent updates from this year. By the way, guys, what is up? My name is Michelle. I am your host. And if you want to see more content like this every week, then hit subscribe. But yeah, let's just hop into it and let's head over to the desk. Okay, so what are Facebook ads? Okay, you've definitely seen them before. They're basically sponsored messages that show up between your friends' stories like this or feed like this. Okay, so for example, this right here, this is an Instagram feed ad. It's almost like a little mini commercial that businesses pay for in order to get their ads in front of potential customers. But guys, like, you do not have to be Lululemon or Apple to run Facebook ads. You can make ads at home with your smartphone. And you can put as much or as little money as you want behind the ads. But, we'll get into that in a sec. First, let's get you set up with an account. How to create a Meta Business Manager. Meta Business Suite is where you're going to go to access the necessary tools for managing your ads. And you need to create an account. So you're going to go to business.facebook.com and then you're going to select create an account. How to create a Meta ad account. So next, you're going to need to create a new advertising account. So to do this, you're going to select ads from the left menu bar and then follow the instructions. Making a meta pixel. Okay, so on to creating our pixel. So if you're not familiar with what a meta pixel is, it's like a little spy messenger guide that works between your Facebook ads and your website. So when someone makes a purchase, or maybe they visit a specific page on your website, it's that pixel that gathers all that information and brings it back to Meta. So when you log onto Meta to look at your analytics to see, okay, how much revenue has this ad made me? The reason that you're able to see this information is because the pixel is tracking it. So you're gonna wanna create a tracking code within your Meta Business Suite account and add it to your website before running any ads. This is very important because this is gonna allow you to see whether your ads are successful. If you're using Shopify, it's really easy. All you have to do is go into your Meta Business Suite account, copy your 16-digit pixel ID just like this, and then you're gonna paste it into the Meta Pixel ID field under Online Store in your Shopify store's preference section. And then within a few hours after adding the pixel ID, you should start to see your website activity under pixels here on your Meta Business Suite account. All your stats like purchases, add to carts, and visitors are gonna be recorded here, okay guys? Understanding how Facebook ad structure works. So when you're getting ready to create an ad, you're gonna see that there are 3 tiers. We have campaigns, ad sets, and ads. And I want you guys to imagine these tiers like folders on your desktop. Ads are inside ad sets, and ad sets are inside campaigns. Starting with the ad itself. An ad is what the end consumer is going to see as they're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram. It can be images, it can be videos, it can be text, or it can be a combination of these 3 things. Okay guys, so look at my screen. This is where you get to be the creative genius, where you come up with your ad creative and your creative masterpiece. Let's go up one level into ad set. This is the container that holds the ads. An ad set is a group of ads that share the same targeting settings. So for example, you could target people that live in a specific location, or maybe they're a certain age group, or maybe they have specific likes or behaviors. So you would do all the targeting here. Now, if you're not 100% sure how to do that, no worries, we will cover that later on in the video. Okay, and then one level up, we have campaigns. A campaign is a group of ad sets that share a common goal. For example, you could create a campaign to increase website traffic or push sales for a specific product. Okay, so we're at the campaign level here, and as you can see, this is where you set your objective, or in other words, the reason for running your campaign in the first place. Okay, so now that you are an absolute expert with where everything lives, let's hop into Meta, FK, Facebook, okay, and let's build these campaigns out. How to set up Facebook campaigns. Setting up your campaigns the right way is super important. The smarter you set this up, the more likely you will make your advertising dollars go further. So for example, if you set your campaigns up the right way, we can avoid running into audience overlap or auction overlap issues so that we're not wasting any money. So let's set this up. Click on Create Campaign. If you're looking to get customers to buy a product directly from you, you're gonna choose sales. But if you have the old campaign objective menu, then you're gonna wanna hit conversions. Both will be doing the same thing. If you're looking to generate leads low, like if you're a service-based business, then you will hit leads. And of course, there are other objectives to choose from here too, but you'll probably be choosing one of these two. Okay, now look here, this is new. So see how it's saying choose a campaign setup? You have the option to choose between a manual build or Advantage plus shopping. So going the manual build campaign route is just gonna be the traditional way of creating a Facebook ad campaign. And in this setting, you have to manually select all the settings, which can be a little time consuming, but on the flip side, it does give you more control. The Advantage Plus Shopping campaign is a new type of campaign that uses machine learning to automatically optimize your settings. The point of this is that this type of campaign is more streamlined and it's gonna be more easy to use than a manual build campaign. Advantage Plus shopping campaigns are designed to be just as effective as a manual build, but they might not be as suitable for all businesses because you may not be ready to give up control. And honestly, I'm working on that in therapy right now. Right, guys, so your business needs to have enough data to train the machine learning algorithm. So if you're just starting out and you don't have that data, this may not be the best option for you. Okay, so you're gonna give your campaign a name. You wanna make sure that the naming convention is gonna be as easily understandable as possible, especially upon first glance. This is gonna be especially important when you have many campaigns all at the same time. And you wanna use the campaign objective in your name, like conversion, new product launch. And also you might wanna include what level of the funnel the audience is in, like tofu, which means top of funnel, and bofu, which means bottom of funnel. So yeah, ideally you would wanna make 2 campaigns, one for cold audiences and one for retargeting, just like this. And a tip to keep in mind is that it's also common to have 1 campaign per product range. So let's say you sell keyboards. You wouldn't want to have one type of keyboard in one campaign and another keyboard in another, because you would just be wasting your advertising dollars selling to that same person who's looking for a keyboard in different campaigns. And plus, it creates ad fatigue. So instead, what you would want to do is you'd want to include an entire range in one campaign. So all the keyboards would go in one campaign and all the mice, let's say you sell mice as well, in another. Because that same person that would be willing to buy a keyboard from you might also be looking for a mouse, which means you're not gonna have any overlap issues. So I know that was a lot, but bottom line is, to recap, each campaign has 1 product range, not 1 product. So we'll skip over special ad categories. We have an auction buying type, sales as our campaign objective, which we already set in the beginning, remember? And then you can decide whether you want to A/B test. So in my experience, I have seen media buyers actually go in and just duplicate a campaign out or an asset out to A/B test rather than using this little toggle, but everyone's going to have their own method. So you can choose to A/B test at the campaign level or at the ad set level. So don't worry about ad sets right now. We'll get into that after we finish with these campaigns. But whether you should A/B test at the campaign level or at the ad set level is going to depend. So at the campaign level, A/B testing is a good option if you have limited budget, or if you want to test a few broad variables, like campaign objective or targeting, for example. The thing is that campaign level A/B testing can be a lot less precise than ad set level A/B testing because you're not going to be able to control as many variables. Ad set level A/B testing is a good option if you have a larger budget or if you want to test more specific variables, but it's going to be more complex and it's going to be more time consuming. In my professional experience, I just have seen more ad and ad set level testing, but guys, that's just me. I'm not the end all be all. You're going to hear a lot of different people and different experts revealing a lot of different methods online. So this is just my, pinpointed view. And then you have the option of using Advantage campaign budget. Choosing how much you want to spend depends, number 1, how much budget you have. You only want to spend how much you can actually afford. And number 2, your product cost. Generally speaking, higher cost items tend to require a higher ad spend. As well, your ad objective, guys, that's going to make a difference in terms of how much you're spending. Sales-oriented objectives like purchases, they're going to cost more than objectives that are aimed at increasing awareness, like clicks and engagements. They do make you pay to play. And lastly, guys, how much you want to spend will also depend on your average customer acquisition cost. If you already know your cost to acquire a customer because maybe you have already tested paid ads somewhere else, you're going to want to put that number here. Customer acquisition cost, or CAC, as they like to call it in the streets. Listen, guys, I am giving you the goods on the industry acronyms. Yes, it's called CAC, and it's important to know because you can use that information to estimate how much you can afford to spend on Facebook ads without exceeding your budget. How to set up a Facebook ad set. Okay, make an ad set and then duplicate your ad sets into the campaign just like this. We want to be able to test several at a time so that we can see what's working and what's not working. With these ad sets, you can test various factors like lookalike audiences or interest targeting. or demographic-based audiences. And what are we going to call this? Well, common practice is to name this by what type of audience you're going to be targeting. And look at here, guys, this is new. So right here, you can set your performance goal. Love that. And if we scroll down here to audience, we can start getting a little bit more creative. So if you see here on my screen, this is where you can create audiences. If you want to advertise to a cold audience, this is called prospecting. Prospecting is a way to reach new customers through Facebook advertising by targeting people who have not yet interacted with your business online. Facebook provides two helpful tools for businesses to find potential customers. We have lookalike audiences and saved audiences. Lookalike audiences are created using your existing customer data to find people who are similar to your current customers. And saved audiences allow you to target prospects using interests, behaviors, and demographic data. So that's prospecting, but then we also have retargeting. So what's retargeting? Retargeting is a powerful way to advertise to people who have already interacted with your business. Like maybe they have visited your website, or maybe they've added some items to their cart, or maybe they follow you on Instagram. So you can retarget by creating custom audiences. And these custom audiences can be based on your customer list, website traffic, or your catalog. Moving along here into the placements area. Okay, so Facebook recommends using Advantage Plus placements for most businesses. They believe that Advantage Plus placements can help businesses reach a wider audience and get better results. I personally always like to test new features out for myself, and also I like to see what experts are, currently recommending, because Facebook may have their own goals to reach. They're a company, right? So it's always good to kind of proceed with caution and, test it out for yourself. But I would say currently experts in the field generally agree with Facebook's recommendations. Advantage Plus placements can be a good option for some businesses. Ultimately, the best way to decide which type of placement to use is to experiment and to see what works best for your business. You can start with Advantage Plus placements and then switch to manual placements if you're not happy with the results. Okay, so we're moving into the actual ad part. This is the actual ad that your audience will see. So I understand that it can feel really overwhelming to know what kind of ads to make, because there's literally just endless possibilities. It's almost like being a painter and having a blank canvas in front of you and just not knowing where to start. So this method that we're gonna do right here is gonna really help you. So if we look at the traditional marketing funnel, we have awareness at the top, this is when a customer becomes aware that you even exist. After that comes consideration. This is when a consumer is thinking about purchasing from you, but they're just not sure yet. And then the final stage is called conversion, and this is where a customer finally makes that purchase decision with you. But we're gonna flip this upside down. We're getting a little wacky. It's whack-a-doodle time. Okay, so let's take this traditional marketing funnel and make it applicable to Facebook advertising. So the conversion is making the online purchase right up here. But what do they have to do before that? Well, they have to check out in the consideration phase. And what do they have to do before that? They need to add to cart. And then before that, they need to view your product page. Before that, they need to visit your website first. And before that, they click on your ad. Before that, they view your ad. And before that, you need to get them to stop scrolling. So now it becomes a lot easier to decide what kind of ads you're gonna make for every stage of the funnel that your audience is in. But there is a catch. This here is what you want your target audience to do. But I can guarantee you that your audience absolutely does not want to do this. Imagine that your audience is a group of 3-year-old kids. They're gonna have objections at every step of the way. You want them to stop scrolling, right? And they're gonna be like crossing their arms. They're gonna be like, no, right? They're 3-year-old kids. So we have to make an ad to meet those objections. So to get them to stop scrolling, we'd make an ad that has a really strong hook, and that'll get them to stop and watch for a sec. And then we need to get them to click, right? So let's think of all the reasons and objections as to why these 3-year-old kids would not want to click. So an objection might be, I'm not interested. I don't care about what you have to say. Okay, so it's our job to overcome that objection. Maybe we show off our product's most innovative features in our ad. So over here is where it gets really interesting. Why would someone add to cart and then never make the purchase? Well, maybe it's a price objection. Or maybe they saw the shipping costs and they were like, nah. So it's our job to show anyone who has added to cart an ad that overcomes this objection. So we're gonna make an ad that has maybe an offer of free shipping for 24 hours and leave the ad that right here. Okay, so you're gonna wanna do this.
And then you could really start to get into the minds of your customers. Now you could really make ads that get into the mind of your target audience.
Okay, so getting the creative part right with Facebook ads is more important than ever. So currently with Facebook ads, businesses can no longer rely as heavily on targeting the way that it once was. So the key to making successful Facebook ads is making ads that, the creative part that really hits. I personally find that the analytics on Facebook doesn't really tell the whole story. I don't love it. So I have really enjoyed using Motion. Motion helps you take a look at your ads from a creative perspective and understand what are the common attributes that are working, what are the things that are not working. So you can get reports like, which are my most thumb-stopping ads? Which are those ads that are hooking people in? And from there you can be like, oh, okay, so any ad that opens with a question, for example, is keeping people watching longer. And that's an actionable insight, right? So maybe you start making more ads with questions. And then maybe you find that ads without captions aren't really working. So you cut all those ads. So I want to show you some examples of ads that actually work so that you can take these learnings and apply them to your own businesses. So this is an organic piece of content, but this absolutely went viral on TikTok.
What the f*** do DJs actually do? Because I don't think they're remixing the song on the spot. I think they make it ahead of time. So what dials are they pressing? What are the buttons doing? Is it a volume dial? Is it even connected to anything?
However, if this was used as an ad for DJ gear, this would absolutely smash from an engagement perspective. The emotion and the humor is so thumb-stopping, and it would make a perfect top-of-funnel piece of content. And guys, I don't usually convert off of Facebook ads, but this ad actually got me.
All right, if you're one of my autistic or misophonic or otherwise sound-sensitive you need to stay. These calmer earplugs, they funnel sound into a more organized, there's still air going in your ear, but it makes the sound less And so week 2 of wearing them at work, I went home at night after an 8-hour shift, taking an hour and a half of public transit both ways. I wrote an entire chapter for my book. My brain works. My brain works because I have these things now. All right.
The reason this ad is so effective is because it shows a very clear problem and solution. And this one right here uses storytelling UGC. So look at this, it has millions of views, and you can do the exact same thing. You can use that storytelling aspect for your brand too. So yeah, guys, those are just some examples, but hot little tip, check out Facebook Ads Library if you want to see the live ads literally of any given advertiser at any given moment. Okay, so once you have the creative that you're gonna run, maybe you've already filmed it, you're gonna go back into Facebook and you're gonna set it up like this. First, give your ad a name. If you're running a partnership ad, you're gonna wanna flick this on. Partnership ads allow you to run ads from the voice of your partners, like an influencer, for example. So these types of ads can result in better performance than just regular ads because they optimize for both partners' audiences. But if you're just running an ad from your own account, then no worries, you can leave this off. Then you are gonna choose an ad setup. Okay, so your options are create ad, which lets you create a new ad from scratch. And then you can also use existing post from your Facebook or Instagram. And you can also use Creative Hub mockups. So mockups are basically pre-designed templates that you can customize with your own text and images and videos. But I think for most of you guys, you're probably gonna be starting from scratch or from an existing post that has already proven to have high engagement. So we're gonna hit create post just like this, and then we will make sure that our conversions are properly being tracked with our pixel accurately installed. So make sure. And then you can also choose to add parameters to track where your visitors are coming from. Okay guys, are you feeling good about how you're gonna be making your actual ads? I hope you're feeling confident. Now what's gonna happen is you're gonna be running these ads, guys, and you're gonna notice that some ads are working and some ads are not working. So let me show you what to do when that time does come. How to analyze, optimize, and scale your Facebook ads. To track how your ads are performing, you should customize your dashboard to show the metrics that are important. So here are some to get you started. CPC, or cost per click, is the average amount you're gonna pay each time someone clicks on your ad. You'll wanna flick this on in your columns. Click-through rate, you'll also hear it referred to as CTR, is gonna measure the percentage of people who saw your ad and how many of those people clicked. CPM is the average cost based on 1,000 impressions. It determines the cost effectiveness of your ads, so you're definitely gonna wanna include this one as well. Return on ad spend, or ROAS, guys, this is gonna measure the revenue earned for each dollar you spend on advertising. So this is really important, and you're definitely gonna wanna include in your columns. Monitoring these will help you make a decision to cut ads if they're not working, or put more money into ads if they are working. So what does not working mean? Not working means that the cost to run your ads are too expensive, or in other words, your CPM is too high. Not working means that your return on ad spend is too low, or in other words, your ads are not profitable. It means that the click-through rate is too low, or in other words, people are not resonating with your ads. So if your ad doesn't work, what should you be doing? So the first step is you're gonna try to understand why it's not working and make any changes to influence the KPI that you're targeting for. So let's say this is my ad right here. And let's say that I'm not getting any sales and it's just too expensive to run this ad. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask myself, why? Secondly, I'll develop a hypothesis. Maybe I'll say, it needs some humans in it. That's what I'm gonna go with. So I'll go in, I'll refilm my ad, I'll add some humans, I'll upload it to Facebook, and then I will closely monitor the CPM to see if the changes that I made had an effect. You can choose to cut ads that are constantly underperforming. But ad creative is not the only lever that you can pull when your ads aren't working. You can play with your targeting, you can play with your budget, but just remember to isolate the changes so that when you do make those changes, you know exactly what was the cause. Knowing the cause helps you make smarter decisions for the future. How to scale your Facebook ads. So guys, that is what you do when an ad is not working, but what should you be doing when an ad is working? Okay, I am so excited for the day that you open up your analytics and you're like, oh my God, my ads are actually working. So now let's get you prepared to know how to handle the success. Once you're hitting your targets and you're remaining profitable, you'll want to scale your ads. And at this phase, you're going to be focused on adjusting budgets and updating creatives. To avoid audience fatigue, you're going to want to commit to refreshing your creatives often. Reason is because your audience will get tired after seeing the same ad over and over. So you're going to notice that your results are going to start to worsen. And so you're going to want to avoid that. And to do that, you're going to want to drop in new creatives often. But of course, that can take a lot of time and that can take a lot of energy. So be aware that that's going to be required of you. You're going to want to scale your ads for days, weeks, sometimes even months. So if you want to be super prepared, come up with a bunch of content beforehand. It'll definitely be time consuming, guys, for sure, but it'll be worth it because you're going to be making money. And guys, make sure that you scale your ad budget slowly. Don't try to scale your ad budget too quickly. So you're going to want to increase your budget by 20% every few days. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please give a big thumbs up to this video. It's definitely a small thing that you can do for me and this channel, and it helps out in a really, really big way. So yeah, and also guys, if you are an entrepreneur and you are looking to grow an online business, then you have definitely come to the right channel. This channel right here is called Learn with Shopify. It's an official Shopify channel where we teach you how to grow an online business. So if that sounds good to you, then hit subscribe. Congratulations! You're now ready to start running your Facebook ads. If you think you might need to come back to this video to help you remember what to do, just bookmark it right now. Right now, put in your bookmarks tab. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, congratulations on running your first Facebook ads. I'm curious to know what kind of businesses you have. What are you gonna be selling? Drop it down in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and make sure to hit subscribe so that we can hang out every week, and I will see you next week. Peace.